Hi, this is Roger Blakiston, and I'm just off with my wife on our trip that we go maybe 2 or 3 times a year to Los Algodones in Mexico to see our wonderful dentist. So many people have requested information about this and what it's all going to be like. So the unexpected is always it's quite possible to happen. But anyhow, we're here in front of my trusted Honda Element, just getting to leave Glendale, Arizona. Anyone who's coming down from Sedona, you probably have to add about an hour and 3/4 journey to that. Our plan is to go to Algodones, spend the night there. We're seeing the dentist tomorrow morning, and then we'll be going back to Sedona. So I'm reckoning it's about 3.5 hours drive from where we are now in Glendale. We also have basically one bag. My suggestion, I'm going with my wife there, but whether you're going with a partner or on your own, is to take as little baggage as possible, because you're only going to be spending one night at a hotel in Los Algodones. Also very important that when you go, one thing you need to have in your bag is your passports, because otherwise you're going to have a real problem coming back into the United States of America. So take your passports with you. If you happen to be like me, which is an alien with a green card, you don't actually need your passport, you simply need the green card. But even that, I would think it would be advisable probably to take a passport as well. I always do, so just a little tip. Also, I would suggest in your bag that you take with you quite a bit of cash, not just the dentist itself. You're going to find the prices are unbelievable compared with the United States, but you also may well want to do some shopping over there, so I would take cash, because it's very much a cash place, and in fact some of the dentists do not take credit cards. So you might also want to take a checkbook just for security, because they usually will take a check or cash and sometimes credit card, but it's not really a credit card type of cities. We're driving now on the way to Yuma, Arizona, but just so you know what the route is, the first route you take, wherever you're coming from pretty much, whether you're coming from Sedona or Phoenix, you would come on the I-10, and we're on the I-10 at the moment, and in about 2 or 3 miles we'll be turning off on Route 85, which is a smaller road taking us off to Gila Bend. And Gila Bend will probably be making a short rest stop, likely at McDonald's. There's virtually nowhere else in the town that's anyway kind of reasonable. Well, there is actually Burger King, but Burger King or McDonald's, the usual fast food places. So we'll probably make a little rest stop there, and from there we'll be heading on all the way to Yuma and Los Algodones. So here we are. We're just turning off Yuma, turning to Yuma and San Diego, it says. And as I say, this is going to be a smaller road with I think it's a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit all the way to Gila Bend, which is probably about just over half an hour from here. This is my guess. The little small township of Gila Bend, which tends to be a little bit run down, as I mentioned, there's really nowhere much to eat except McDonald's or Burger King. This is like a little town from the past, it seems to me, like 50 years ago, but it's kind of quaint in its own way. So we're just leaving McDonald's, and very soon after McDonald's, probably only about half a mile down the road, you'll see a turn off to San Diego, and that's the main I-8. It goes all the way to San Diego through Yuma, so we're going to be on that now for, I'm reckoning, probably about a couple of hours. This is the longest part of the journey. It's usually a good road for a freeway, not all that much traffic on it, and it's pretty flat. We go through the mountains towards the end as we come down into Yuma, but I'll catch up with you there. Okay, well, we've arrived now on the outskirts of Yuma, and one thing I'm just noticing, there's a lot of police cars at various parts of the road, that you have to be really careful to keep the speed limit here, which is pretty low. I think it's like 55 miles an hour. So Yuma, you're going to be on this road for quite a while, going through the outskirts of Yuma, but what we're going to be looking for is the turn to Los Algodones, and it's a little hard to find, so it's almost like a little back road, so you've really got to look after it. And from memory now, I think it's just you've just come into California, because it's right on the border there. So that's what we're looking for. And then, just so you know, once we've turned off, it's about 2 or 3 miles. We go along this rather small road that takes us to the Mexican border. And the plan is that we're going to park our car on the border. The reason for not taking it into Mexico is that if you go into Mexico, which you're allowed to do, it's advisable to have travel insurance, and that's going to cost you a lot more than paying for the parking at the border. So when we get to the border, which is probably going to be our next point, we're likely to be filming us as we pull into the parking lot, and we're going to be given a choice of going to the overnight parking lot or the main daily parking lot. And it's a difference, I think it's $10 if we go to the main parking lot, and I'm sorry, if we go to the parking lot that's just for overnight, and I think it's $6 if you just do the day parking. So you'll find that most of the people are day trippers. They don't, for whatever reason, like to stay overnight in Los Algodones. But I think it's much better if you do stay overnight, because the hotels are much cheaper, you're near your dentist, and all sorts of reasons which I'll probably go into a little bit later. But that's the plan. We're going to go into the parking lot, and we're going to park the car, and then we're going to be walking through into Mexico, and we're going to see a whole different culture and change of life and everything else, compared with the rather I could almost say dull humour. I mean, this is not a particularly exciting time with you know, RV resorts and so on. But once we get into Mexico, you know, it'll be fairly lively, and then it'll be time for lunch. So yay! We're in the great state of California, entering Pacific time zone. Yeah, we're actually seeing, though we're still in America, we're seeing all these signs now advertising dental work and optical work in Mexico, so it's kind of interesting. We're coming up to the turning very, very soon now to Los Algodones. Yeah, okay, so we just passed a water tower about a mile back, and that's really the clue that you're coming up to the turn off to Los Algodones. So in fact, I think we're going to be able to capture this on camera. The sign, here it is, it says 1 mile now to Los Algodones Road South. Okay, so we're turning off the road now, the much smaller, rougher kind of road that will take us down to the Mexican border, and we're going to pass the big casino on the right-hand side of the road, and this is actually where many people stay and when they go to see their dentist, which always rather surprises me, because you're talking about paying a minimum of $100 a night to stay there, and you don't have the convenience of being right there in town. But that's what a lot of people do. Not my recommendation, but of course that's your choice. But here is the casino on the right. We're actually on the Indian reservation now, and now I'm guessing no more than about a couple of miles down to the border. So as I say, once we get to the border, we're going to be turning off into the parking lot. It's easy to miss, actually. You can end up right on the border, in which case, if you do that, we've done it a couple of times, it's a roundabout, you go around and you come back. But we've got a river here on the left-hand side of the road, and this river actually is pretty much the dividing line, really, between Mexico and the United States. You can see the river quite clearly when we go onto the Mexican side in Los Algodones, but we will discover that when we get to the border that it's very, very easy from America to get into Mexico. There's no immigration. We're going to walk through an iron gate, and that's it, and then you're going to be like in a completely different country. Of course, coming back, it's a whole different story, as I'm sure everyone knows. But the parking lot is coming up right now on the right-hand side. Now, some people will actually park the cars along this little bit of road here before that to avoid paying any parking fee, and you can certainly do that. I probably wouldn't risk it for sort of security risk reasons. And in fact, I'm seeing now that there are signs up saying no parking at any time, so you have to park, you know, well outside those signs. But here we are, the Quetchin parking lot, and I'm turning in as we speak now. And yeah, we're keeping the camera rolling here as we go right the way up to pay our dues for the overnight parking. Remember, it's the overnight parking. We're going to tell them we're parking overnight, and that's a different parking lot to if we were just a day trip, and that's kind of pretty important that you get that right. So here we go, and let's see the turnstile coming up. Open, here it is. Okay, so let's see when the prices have stayed here overnight. Hi there.
Hi.
Where overnight? One night?
Overnight, it'll be $10.
10, that's what I thought. It's the same price. Never changes. And is that the first parking lot, right? Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you a paper and I'll show you where to park.
Thank you very much. It's a little warmer here than it was in Phoenix. We had it cold today. Okay.
Here's your change.
Thank you
I'll
so.
show you where to park.
Thank you. Okay, she's going to show us where to.
Over there.
Over there in this one here. Okay.
You just go this way?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yep, so you can see not many people here, and if you pan the camera around, you'll see that the other parking lot has got a mass of people there, the day trippers, but we're kind of rather exclusive. As I say, it's the difference between $10 and $6, but you know, we're doing the overnight bit, and that's my recommendation to anybody coming here. Yes, and she's given us a piece of paper here, and we need to keep this on our windshield to show that we've in fact paid our $10 to go into the overnight parking, and it's very safe here. So, and this actual parking lot is actually run by the people, the Native Americans from the Quechan Casino, so they run it. Okay, so we're here at the Mexican border, which is the United States flag, and we're going to be walking now through into the country of Mexico. We're going to find an iron gate there, and as I say, it's going to be very simple to walk through, so follow me through. Okay, so this is it. It's the port of entry. Up there, that's what it says, and that's where all the cars will be going through. Of course, we're going to be walking through the turnstile. And once again, I think you're going to find there's a huge contrast between the United States and Mexico. It's just within a few feet of walking. It's an entire different culture. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love Mexican people. And it's slightly many vacations. It's hard to believe that we're actually going off here to see the dentist, and possibly even get some eyeglasses as well. And just so you know, we drove this morning about 3.5 hours from Phoenix. We left about 9:15, and it's about 12:30, something like that now, including the stops, maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock. And it was really, you know, it was quite a pleasant journey. But you'll see this turnstile ahead, as I say, no security guards or police or customer checks or anything else. So easy. Goodbye America for 24 hours. Okay, we're in Mexico now, so let's continue our journey forward. Unfortunately, I speak to understand very little Spanish, but this sign here says bienvenidos, which I think means welcome to the frontier of Los Algodones. Here, this sign here. So this is our welcome. Very nice. No sign there. Come on through, yeah. Restroom there, which I wouldn't recommend. There's a much nicer one at the restaurant. We're ready to eat pretty soon, so there's a restaurant nice to go there.
Welcome to Los Algodones.
Thank you.
All right. First thing we'll walk off, take this part. Have a good day, all right?
Thank you, you too. We have a dentist, so.
You got it right? All right.
Yeah.
Have a good day, all right?
No turtle today, thank you. No, thank you. Okay, so we're heading straight down towards the where we're going to have our lunch. Obviously, it's a Mexican restaurant.
Good afternoon, amigo. Check my prices in Mexico.
The prices are good, are they? Yeah. Maybe after we've had something to eat.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll be waiting for you.
Thank you.
Sir. That way.
More to the places down here. Actually, looking straight ahead of us now is where the border is to go back into the United States, which we should be doing. So smaller. Find our way around here. Very soon enter. The restaurant is probably the best place to eat in town. Not the one places. Here it is. It's called the Pueblo Viejo restaurant. Okay, so here we are at the Pueblo Viejo, which is definitely the best restaurant in town. I'm actually having chimichangas, which are quite different to what they are in the United States. They're much, smaller and longer, and it's a whole different shape. But this is actually far superior to anything I've had in America. And of course, I'm having my margarita, and we have music playing, and this is, costing us very little money. Okay, so here we are. We've just finished lunch, and we're off to stay at the California Comfort Suites Hotel, and that's about 10 minutes more from here, but we're likely to encounter many street vendors on the way, and there are three choices of hotels here. We chose this particular one. They range from between like $40 and $50 a night, so we're likely to be encountered by many street vendors on the way. We've actually got one right here behind us. Okay, we're off now. The first stop we're going to make is actually to the optical center. This is like the first optical center. There are many optical places in town where we can get possibly some new frames and glasses and eye tests, and very, very cheap compared with the United States, designer frames. So let's see what happens. So let's go on inside and see if they've got any decent frames, because we're undecided at the moment whether we want them. Coming out of the supermarket here, and I got myself some traditional tequila and margarita mix, which is very cheap compared with America, and actually it's very cool. There's no taxes either, so there we are. That'll be my little purchase here this morning. Okay, so we're now heading down to downtown Algodones, and this is where we're going to see probably a lot of razzmatazz and street vendors trying to sell us stuff. And, it's always a lot of fun, so on we go. Anything could happen here, but hopefully one of the main things is that one needs to bargain if I'm going to buy it. Not looking for anything at the moment. She's just taking my photographs, and yeah. Pretty cool. Walking stick, maybe.
Let's have a look.
Lots of pharmacies here and stuff.
Hello. Want a flower? Right?
Mobiles. Jewelry.
Hats.
Maybe later.
Come back.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, okay? I'll see you later, okay?
We'll see you later. Yeah.
Waiting.
This is another optical place over here.
Hello, this is the place, optical service maybe?
Place, yeah. Maybe we stay here a few days. So. Yeah. Let's come around here. This is where we're going around here. This is like a plaza, and they actually have a restaurant here, and they actually have live music. So this is a cool place to sit. I don't think the food is quite as good as the restaurant that we've just been to. It's fun, and let's take a little walk around. Definitely got live music here today. But surprisingly, there aren't too many people here. Sometimes this place is packed, but we're here today on a Monday. This is the restaurant we're coming to. Many people sit, but there's not so many. This is like an interesting little area. Thank you. Okay, we continue on our way here through the street vendors, but it is unbelievably quiet here. It's usually much more bustling than it is. Thank you. Look at some of these things around here. Come in here on. This guy here. Tomorrow, yeah. So we've arrived at our hotel. Here it is. It's the California Comfort Suites. We actually ended up booking this through Expedia, but you can book it directly through the hotel. The Comfort Suites has its own restaurant where they serve breakfast, or you actually get a very basic continental breakfast. I think coffee and cookies included, and it also has its own swimming pool. Here we go. As I say, it's about $45, $48 a night. That's including taxes. So here's the swimming pool, and they've actually put us in a room on the second floor here, which is very nice. We've stayed here on 2 or 3 occasions. This has only been open about 2 years now, so this is possibly our favorite hotel, but I'm going to take you now along to show you a couple of the other hotels. There's really just the 3 that you can choose from. Now we're at the very far end of the town, and we're going to see the Hacienda Hotel, where we've stayed on at several occasions, and it's really quite nice. They do a full service breakfast, and you can have an evening meal, and it's probably the original hotel here. The other 2 hotels which I'm showing you, one of which we're staying at, have only been really built, I think, in the last 2 or 3 years. So we like the variation, but the Hacienda is very nice, but as you'll see, it's in a pretty rugged area with a lot of garbage and stuff around, but the hotel itself is very nice, very kind of, you know, Spanish looking, the architecture, and you know, the rooms are clean, and the people running it are very pleasant. So let's come on now into the courtyard. This hotel does not have a licensed bar, but once again you can bring your own liquor in if you wish, into the main courtyard, which is quite pleasant here. And let's have a little look around, check out some of the rather lovely statues. So there we are. This is the Hacienda Hotel. This is probably the grandest of the 3 hotels here that I'd recommend. This is the Cielito Lindo. Very slightly more expensive than the others, but it's very, very charming hotel. Again, only probably been open maybe 2 or 3 years, and they have a rather lovely courtyard here where you can drink outside, and the whole area actually reminds me a little bit of Las Vegas. You can see a considerably grander, more upscale than maybe the other hotels and maybe even the other areas of town. And this is the main restaurant here, which I believe now has a licensed bar. You have to be 18 years old, not 21 years old, to actually drink alcohol. But we've not stayed at this hotel, but we have eaten here, and very, very good meal. So there it is, and that's what the plaza looks like. The 3rd of our hotels here, the Cielito Linda. It's now evening time here at the California Comfort Suites, and we're sitting in the restaurant waiting for our meal to be served, indulging in a little margarita. It's been an amazing day, and we've seen an incredible sunset a short time ago. We sat by the swimming pool, and a number of other American visitors were kind of sitting with us, and we all got talking, and it's amazing how you meet people here. Okay, so the food has arrived, and it looks absolutely delicious. Here we are. This is angelatas that I've ordered. My wife here has ordered tacos. She was expecting to be in a shell, but it's kind of like, I guess it's like 3 shells there with guacamole and everything. I've never seen anything like this in America, but it's really beautiful. And this entire dish, I think, costs like $6 or $7. So I'm ready to tuck in. It's about 8:30 tonight, and tomorrow morning we actually get to see the dentist. So hopefully this will be good for my teeth. But there we are. We've had breakfast at our hotel, and now we're heading off to the dentist. But on the way there, our first stop is one of our favourite places here, which is Maria's, where they sell all sorts of wonderful statues. So maybe we'll buy something for my labyrinth in Sedona, you never know. Mermaids. Wow. Look at this stuff here is a little metal. Okay, so we've left the hotel, we've done a little bit of shopping, and now we're on the way, about 5 minutes walk down to our dentist. It's actually just across the street here. And the dentist that we use is a wonderful lady called Eva Morena, and we've been going here for several years now. And very soon, coming into the courtyard, is actually a root canal specialist here on the left. Kind of affiliated, I've actually had my own done there. That's George just arriving. Totally up. George is his husband. And here's the courtyard. It's lovely, isn't it? Eva's office is right here in the corner, and here she is. That's Eva. Hi, Dr. Eva, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you. Nice to see you. We're your first customers, maybe.
Ah, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey George, how are you?
Morning.
Morning. You arrived here at the same time as the dentist. That's good. Good for you. Good timing. Yeah, first customer of the day is about 8:30 now, so that's great. Okay, so I'm just out of Dr. Eva's office. I was there, me and my wife were there probably for about an hour and a half, and I've had if I'm not speaking great, it's because I'm numb at the top side of my mouth. I was surprisingly needed to have some periodontal work done there, but she was able to do that. I had my mouth cleaned, I've been given some chlorhexidine stuff to do, and my wife had a tooth cleaned anyway. The whole thing came to well under $200 in total, which is unbelievable. It would have cost probably getting on for, I'm guessing, not short of $1,000 if we'd had it done in the United States. So we're off now to see some of the street vendors. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is one of these amazing food places that they have, street vendors. There's some tacos. It's very good. Yeah. Amazing.
This is 38. This good size. This is a good size for you. This more. This 38.
This is too big, this one.
This too big.
It's too big, yeah. I bought last time this, but it's too big.
Yeah. This one and the design.
Yeah.
I mean, which one do you like?
Let's see, this is quite nice, isn't it? Okay, if I get the black or the brown, how much is best price? If I buy 2 of them.
38.
No. For the 2.
Give me 35. It's my first sale. This is
Now,
special.
every time I come here, I pay $10.
Oh,
so
no,
this one,
this buffalo leather.
Yeah.
This very quality leather.
this is always same.
Yeah.
We'll
Mira,
see
excuse
another.
me. Give me a 30 for this. About
I don't want it 30 for 2. No, because
$15
that's
each. 15.
I buy the 2 at $10 each, and that's the last. That's every time. That's,
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Give me $5. 25. Okay?
no,
25.
no, $20 last time. Always, every time. 10 and 10.
Give me 22. Okay? And my first
So it's going to be your lucky day. I'll give you 22. Okay, we have a deal. There you are.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. This is special price for my first sale. Okay?
This is my favourite shopping area now. Actually, I bought my statues for my labyrinth and the deer shaman and everything. I got something from this area here. Very, very nice. Right in the centre of Los Algodones. So let's see what they've got here today. Hello. We've got some carrots here. always negotiate. Anyone who's coming here, negotiate the prices, because they expect that, and they'll ask for a high price and you can get it right down. So there you go. Okay, so we're actually leaving Mexico now. We're right here at the border. You can see the American flag up there, and this is the barbed wire fence. And now we're going to have to go through customs and immigration to get through. Sometimes there's a long line, but today we seem to be very lucky. It's a quiet time of year, so it doesn't look like there's any line. And we're going to film it as much as we can, but we probably can't film it too much once we actually get to the border. But you're going to see me now. I'm going to be coming right through this iron gate. I have to be very careful to get the, make sure particularly if you're bringing alcohol and things, you're only allowed a certain amount, like 1 litre per person. Otherwise you're going to have to pay duty. But I'm going through the gate right now, so I guess we're still in Mexico. And any moment now we're going to be in the United States. We're coming through the customs area.
I gotta get our passports out.
Get our passports. Oh, so here we are. That was very, very quick. Took just a few minutes to get through. All clear, and we're back here in the United States of America, ready to head up to Sedona, which is probably going to be about a 5-hour drive. So there we go. Okay, so we are now back in the United States of America, and we're leaving Yuma, and we're actually heading off now to Sedona, which is where we live, where our home is. And I thought I might just do a little recap for you while I'm driving of the last 24 hours with a couple of little points that I may have left out. First of all, just to clarify, we left Glendale probably about 8:45 yesterday morning, stopped off at McDonald's on the way at Gila Bend, and then arrived in Yuma about lunchtime. And the way we like to do it is we like to go sort of the day before and actually see the dentist the following morning. So we spent the afternoon, we had our lunch, we spent the afternoon walking through the streets, did a little bit of shopping, and then checked into our hotel. There were, as I say, 3 basic hotels, which you've seen earlier on in the video, which I would recommend that you stay at one of them. I will also say that the majority of people who go to the dentist do not stay in town. They stay in Yuma for all sorts of reasons, which I always find a little hard to understand. One of the reasons might be that it tends to be a little bit quiet at night in Los Algodones, but you know, the daytime it's certainly very active. Some people I know who I've spoken to say they don't feel that it's safe. Well, I think that that's incorrect. I actually think it's extremely safe. This is known by many people as the dental capital of the world. There are literally masses and masses. I don't know whether could well be over 100 dentists in the town. I mean, I don't have the figure, but it is very safe. It's probably one of the safer parts of Mexico. And as I said, we've certainly not had any problems. We find that the people there are extremely friendly. So that's a couple of points there. I would also say, although we came from Phoenix and we're going back to Sedona, in truth you can come from anywhere in the United States. There is obviously you can fly to Phoenix, but there's also, if you can manage to get a flight there is an international airport at Yuma. So that might be an option actually to fly in there, and you may not even need to get a car. You might be able to rent an Uber just to take you to the border. If you're staying there for 2 or 3 days to have dental work, get an Uber or a taxi back, and that's it basically. And the other thing I did mention earlier on is take plenty of cash with you, because it tends to be a cash place, certainly for the vendors. Pay by cash, and some of the dentists do not take credit cards, including the one that we go to. They will take a check, but I would say take plenty of cash, feel safe, but obviously always have your wallet close to you. Very, very important to bargain. You'll have seen on the video these couple of belts that I bought. I think they were asking like $40 for the 2 of them. I'm ending up getting them for pretty much for half price. So you'll also find that the vendors will actually run after you and try and persuade you if they've offered a price and you've turned away and walked away. Not a bad thing to do, but they may well come up to you and come down with a cheap price. So those are just a few little tips. Hopefully I've not left anything too much out, but to clarify, we spent the night there at the California Comfort Suites. We went to the dentist this morning. I had my dental work done. My wife had the dental work done. We then did just a little bit of shopping, came back over the border, and we were in Yuma and had a lunch just at one of the Love service station, which seemed a little strange after Mexico. Be back here in America, but we went to the Love service station in Yuma and got filled up with gas, petrol as we say in England. I hope this video has been of some help to many of you, because it's something that's a bit of a mystery to some. A lot of people, as I say, seem to be a bit scared. I would say, why do you go to the dentist in Los Algodones? I'd say obviously most important to save a lot of money, but also to have a lot of fun. The Mexicans are wonderful people. You can make a nice vacation out of it, and really enjoy yourself and come away and feel, gosh, I've saved all this money and I've had a nice little holiday. So it's amazing to think how much fun one can actually have going to the dentist. Definitely seems like a mini vacation. But the Red Rocks are welcoming us back to Sedona, and I'm going to sign off now, and I hope you've all enjoyed watching this little video of ours. Thank you.